I didn't fail diets because of willpower. I failed because I didn't know what to cook or how to prepare it. So instead of trying another 30-day reset, I built a system that is sustainable and actually works for real life. For a long time, eating healthy felt like a skill that everyone else had and I missed somewhere along the way. People would say, just cook at home.
Just cook at home.
And I would think, cook what? How? I knew the foods that I was supposed to eat, but standing there in my kitchen, it was stressful. It felt like so much pressure. The recipes were complicated, too many choices, too much pressure. And that's where things typically fell apart. It wasn't because I didn't care, it was just too complicated. What finally helped wasn't motivation. It was removing the friction. And honestly, AI became the tool to help me overcome that barrier. Not to replace thinking, not to replace learning, just to make starting easier. First, meal planning. What I actually did was use AI to help me with my creative process, to give me ideas on what to cook and how to cook it. AI is all about the prompts that you put in. So I gave it the specific diet I was on, how many people I was cooking for. Generally, as we went along, the things I didn't like, things I did like, I would ask it to include more often. The further we went in the process, I asked for repeat ingredients to simplify my shopping experience. I didn't want to make something brand new every single day, so I asked it to repeat certain dishes, and it was very helpful. I also did a 4-day window at a time, both for freshness of ingredients, but also just because I didn't want to be overwhelmed. The particular plan that I was on, I was doing no sugar added, whole foods, 1 meal a day with 1 snack. So I put those prompts in first thing. I asked for a 4-day menu for those 4 meals and 4 snacks. I threw out the items that I know I don't like. There were some that I've tried in the past, like Brussels sprouts. I've tried, I've made them, I've failed, they were horrible. In this process, it gave me a different way of seasoning and cooking them. And I actually love Brussels sprouts now. I've never tried parsnips, but it gave me parsnips. It gave me a lot of new vegetables to put in my repertoire. It was almost a creative interaction between me and AI. So it would give me some ideas. I would put my own thoughts into it. Midway through, I was asking for specific recipes. I like a salad from this particular restaurant or a soup from over here. I put those prompts in, and what it gave me back was mixed bag, mostly good. Some of the recipes were a little more complicated and some didn't quite taste the same. We're just trying, we're seeing what works, what doesn't work, and letting it know in the meantime, I don't like this, I don't like this, no seafood, no pork, kind of honing it as you go. And it did a really nice job. Learning how to cook. This is the part most people miss. I didn't need more recipes. I needed basic techniques. So instead of asking, give me a recipe, I started asking things like, how do I saute vegetables like I've never cooked before? What does medium heat actually look like? How do I know chicken is done without cutting it open? Once I learned how to cook 1 protein or 1 vegetable, then I could start modifying it. I could include it in different meals. I had a lot more options. Adjusting in real life. I also use AI when I'm in the middle of cooking sometimes. If I'm out of a needed ingredient, I will ask it to swap something out that I have on hand. This tastes bland. How do I fix it? Give me some seasoning options. This made cooking feel more interesting, a creative process, one that I was more likely to succeed in. Other resources I use. AI is not the only resource I'm using. There are other YouTube videos to show you techniques. They're fantastic. Gordon Ramsay, I recommend highly. There are TV shows, there's library books, recipes. Your friends and family, I'm sure they share recipes around too. This is just a tool to get you started, to build the confidence and to honestly provoke some creativity in my own brain. That's what happened, where AI falls short. To be clear, AI is not magic. It is not a human. It does not have a palate, but it does know seasonings that typically go pretty well together, and it can give you ideas to start from. You do have to take those and make them your own, try them. If there's something you really don't like, the more you can input into AI, the better it will hone the foods that it suggests for you for your particular taste. It does tend to overcomplicate some things. Some of the soups that I made were kind of bland. I did have to add my own seasonings and ask for a lot more input on those. And sometimes the timing is wildly optimistic. It took me a lot longer to do some of the things than what it suggested. How this supported my sugar challenge. This system is actually the reason my sugar challenge succeeded. Because when I didn't rely on last minute decisions or convenience or just frustration because things weren't working out right, I didn't reach for the easiest option. I stuck with it because it was working. The foods that I was making actually tasted good. And I looked forward to trying the next new thing, the next new vegetable, the next seasonings that I haven't ever tried before. Because I had success upon success, that foundation gave me more motivation to keep going. That changed everything. I didn't become a chef. I did stay pretty close to my plan. There were no lapses. There were no times where I reached for sugar or went outside of the plan that AI gave me. I just stopped feeling helpless in my own kitchen. If you're trying to eat better without burning out, this is the system I'm using, and I'm building everything else on this system. If you want to see how this played out during my 30-day challenge, I'll put that link in the comments below. This isn't about discipline. It's about building a system that is sustainable and that will get you through the hard days and just keep you on track. This did not make me a chef, but it did make me less intimidated.